Hundreds of cybercriminals were arrested in just 1 month, and most people never noticed. Behind the scenes, police across Africa launched a coordinated sweep that shut down scam networks, cracked ransomware codes, and froze millions in stolen money. This video breaks down how the operation worked, what types of crimes were targeted, and the exact tactics investigators used to take these groups apart. Stay until the end to understand what this crackdown revealed about how modern financial crime really operates, and why even a massive victory like this may not mean the danger is over. At first, nothing feels wrong. The email looks normal. The invoice matches the template you've seen 100 times before. The sender's name is familiar. The urgency feels routine. And somewhere between trusting the process and moving fast, the money leaves the account. By the time anyone realizes what happened, it's already crossed borders, bounced through intermediaries, and vanished into accounts designed never to be traced. That exact moment played out thousands of times across Africa before 2025, and then, quietly, law enforcement decided it had seen enough. Between October 27th and November 27th, 2025, one of the largest coordinated cybercrime crackdowns in Africa unfolded. Led by Interpol and supported by national police forces from 19 African countries, the operation targeted cybercriminal networks responsible for business email compromise, ransomware, digital extortion, fake investment platforms, and large-scale online fraud. By the end of the sweep, 574 suspects had been arrested, and approximately $3 million in stolen funds had been recovered. But those headline numbers barely scratched the surface of what was uncovered. Investigators were not dealing with isolated hackers or amateur scammers. These were organized groups with defined roles. One team handled phishing. Another handled malware deployment. Others specialized in laundering money through mule accounts, crypto exchanges, and shell companies. Many of these networks operated across borders, exploiting gaps between jurisdictions and the slow pace of international cooperation. This time, that advantage disappeared. One of the primary focuses of the operation was business email compromise, a crime that continues to outperform ransomware in pure financial damage worldwide. BEC schemes don't rely on technical exploits alone. They rely on patience, surveillance, and manipulation. Criminals monitor corporate communications for weeks or months. They learn payment cycles. They study executive writing styles. Then they strike at moments when scrutiny is lowest. In Senegal, investigators uncovered one of the most dangerous BEC attempts of the year. A criminal group had successfully infiltrated the internal email systems of a petroleum company. Using compromised executive accounts, they initiated fraudulent wire transfer instructions, totaling approximately $7.9 million. The transfer requests appeared legitimate, aligned with ongoing transactions, and were routed toward foreign accounts controlled by the attackers. What saved the company wasn't luck, it was timing. Law enforcement, acting on intelligence shared through Interpol channels, issued immediate freeze requests. The funds were halted before they could be withdrawn or layered through laundering networks. Had that delay been even a few hours longer, the money would likely have been unrecoverable. That single case revealed how close many companies are to catastrophic losses without realizing it. But BEC is only one part of the operation. Another major focus was digital extortion, including sextortion and blackmail schemes designed to pressure victims into fast payments. These attacks often begin with a simple message claiming the victim's device has been compromised. Attackers threaten to release private data, images, or browsing histories unless payment is made immediately. What makes these schemes effective is scale. Criminals don't need every victim to pay. They only need a small percentage to panic. During the sweep, authorities identified and dismantled the digital infrastructure supporting these campaigns. More than 6,000 malicious links were taken offline. These links were used to deliver malware, harvest credentials, and route victims to payment portals. Shutting them down didn't just disrupt ongoing scams. It cut criminals off from their primary acquisition channels. Then came ransomware. In Ghana, investigators responded to a ransomware attack that targeted a financial institution, encrypting more than 100 terabytes of data. The attackers exfiltrated sensitive files and demanded payment for decryption. Approximately $120,000 was traced to ransom-related activity connected to the case. Rather than stopping at arrests, malware analysts examined the ransomware string itself. Through reverse engineering, they identified weaknesses in the encryption implementation. This allowed authorities to develop a decryption tool, enabling partial recovery of the encrypted data without paying additional ransom. This technical breakthrough mattered far beyond Ghana. Across the operation, 6 ransomware variants were successfully decrypted, reducing the future effectiveness of those strains and undermining criminal leverage against other victims. But the sweep also exposed how cybercrime ecosystems extend far beyond malware. In Ghana and Nigeria, investigators dismantled fraud networks operating fake mobile applications and cloned websites designed to impersonate trusted brands. Victims believed they were accessing legitimate services. In reality, they were transferring funds directly to criminal-controlled accounts. In one coordinated fraud ring, more than 200 victims were identified across multiple countries, with losses exceeding $400,000. Servers hosting the fake platforms were seized. Payment processors were traced. Devices used to manage the scams were confiscated, leading to multiple arrests. The operation also revealed the role of social media in scaling fraud. In Benin, authorities conducted one of the most extensive takedowns of the entire sweep. Investigators shut down 43 malicious domains and seized control of over 4,300 compromised social media accounts. These accounts were being used to run scams, distribute extortion messages, and redirect victims to phishing pages. That single action resulted in 106 arrests. Each account represented hundreds or thousands of potential victims. Closing them didn't just stop crimes in progress. It erased entire criminal pipelines. Across all participating countries, investigators estimated that the cybercriminal networks targeted during the sweep had been linked to over $21 million in financial losses prior to intervention. And even that figure is considered conservative, as many victims never report cyber fraud. What made this operation successful wasn't just enforcement, it was coordination. Law enforcement agencies shared intelligence in real time. Financial institutions flagged suspicious transactions as they occurred. Cybersecurity firms provided forensic analysis of malware, IP addresses, and phishing infrastructure. Freeze orders were issued rapidly, preventing funds from being laundered beyond recovery. For once, speed worked in favor of defenders. Interpol officials described the operation as a demonstration of what happens when borders stop protecting criminals. When countries communicate, when financial systems cooperate, when technical expertise is combined with legal authority. But the operation also highlighted a growing reality. Africa's rapid digital expansion has created enormous opportunity, not just for innovation, but for exploitation. Mobile banking, fintech platforms, and online services have grown faster than security awareness and regulatory enforcement in many regions. Criminals are not exploiting weakness. They are exploiting growth. Cybercrime today is not about lone hackers in basements. It is about structured organizations that operate like businesses. They track conversion rates. They test messaging. They optimize payment flows. And they adapt quickly. Operation Sentinel disrupted that business model. It introduced uncertainty. It forced criminals to abandon infrastructure. It made arrests real. If this breakdown changed how you think about financial fraud, online scams, or cybercrime networks, make sure you're subscribed.